Hey everyone, if this is your first talk with us, then welcome to the Product Marketing Festival. And for those of you that have already been tuning in, welcome back. We hope you will or have been enjoying what's going on, and we just want to take the opportunity to say thanks to all the sponsors and partners. And if you're not already signed up, don't forget to check out the Slack channel for lots more product marketing resources and discussion. Enjoy the talk.
Your customers are your best spokespeople, so you want to make sure your prospects hear what they have to say. After all, trusted endorsements can drive faster sales cycles and boost marketing conversions, which helps you unlock faster growth. But when it comes to going on the record, even your best customers can go silent, and who can blame them? Partnering on case studies is time-consuming, and it's painful to work through the legal approvals often required. Luckily, there's another way. With Tech Validate by SurveyMonkey, you can easily capture feedback from satisfied customers and transform it into powerful content, like verified case studies, testimonials, and reviews. Want charts that show ROI, cost savings, or competitive differentiation? You got it. With our platform, you'll quickly build an arsenal of highly targeted social proof points, segmented by industry, company size, or buyer persona. You'll get the tools to easily deploy your new customer evidence into top marketing channels and put it in front of your sales team to share with prospects. Plus, there's no need to wait for legal for approvals. With Tech Validate, your customers can opt to share their name or provide testimonials anonymously, with all customer evidence validated by a trusted third party. That's why hundreds of companies, big and small, use Tech Validate to get social proof at scale. Ready to see how it works? Watch our product tour today.
Hello, Product Marketing Alliance from Santa Monica, California, quarantine style. Nice to meet you all. My name is Scott Parrish, and I'm with LinkedIn Talent Solutions, which is a part of LinkedIn that is dedicated to helping companies hire and helping people like you and me find jobs. And what we're going to talk about today is rapid go-to-market. When I say rapid, I mean very rapid. We recently had an experience with the COVID-19 crisis where we built and launched a product in less than 10 days. And I want to share today some of that story, some of the learnings, and 5 principles that you can use to help speed up your go-to-market. In March this year, as the COVID-19 crisis was exploding in Europe and in North America, LinkedIn Talent Solutions started to receive some unprecedented requests for support. Organizations were asking for help with surge hiring at volumes that we had never heard of before. For example, in the United Kingdom, the National Health Service, the NHS, was looking for 30,000 doctors and 60,000 nurses. Organizations here in the US, like Doctors on Demand, were skyrocketing. They provide virtual medicine, so as everyone was sheltering in place, they needed 500 doctors to keep up with the demand for virtual medicine. These are just 2 examples of hundreds of organizations that were sending these types of requests. And it wasn't just for healthcare workers. Disaster relief not-for-profits were also really needing help to find volunteers. For example, in the Red Cross of Los Angeles needed 300 volunteers per day to help feed families and children in shelter-in-place who were reliant on the school system for food security. We quickly realized what was happening. It wasn't enough to flatten the curve. Organizations needed to also raise the line, and they were looking to LinkedIn for support to increase their capacity. They needed rapid surge hiring for frontline COVID-19 roles. And quite honestly, LinkedIn didn't have a solution that fit these huge types of demand. It's important to note too that LinkedIn is a very purposeful company. So it was a Sunday afternoon when I got a call from our head of social impact, who was pulling together a small group, product marketing, product, and social impact, to answer the question, what could we do to help the world? And here's what we came up with. We built a surge hiring solution with 5 pillars. First of all, we said, okay, there are 670 million people on LinkedIn. We want to know every one of them with the relevant skills, and we want to make it as easy as possible for them to connect with frontline COVID-19 roles. We analyzed anyone who had applied to a healthcare role in the last 5 years and used data science to model a new cohort of our members who had the right skills. We sent them alerts, and when they came onto LinkedIn, they had a completely unique experience that said, hey, We need your help. Here are COVID-19 roles. This is how you can get involved. The second thing that we did is we just made our jobs completely free for the healthcare sector, for the supermarket sector, and for delivery. These were frontline essential services, and we tagged those jobs as well, particularly the ones that were on the front line of COVID-19, as urgent within our platform. This gives them a tremendous amount of promotion, so it makes it even easier for them to get the applicants that they need. Third, LinkedIn is at the center of a community of 60,000 talent acquisition companies who are hiring people on LinkedIn. So our own talent acquisition team said, we are pausing hiring and we are going to put our recruiters and we're going to dedicate them to helping hospitals fill the really hard to fill roles where posting a job is good, but you actually need to be actively reaching out in this market. The fourth thing we did for volunteering was we took our talent media. These are advertisements on the LinkedIn platform that can invite you to volunteer, and we immediately dedicated them to helping find between 50 and 2,500 volunteers in less than 2 weeks as a solution. We also did research within our platform to understand how our members wanted to volunteer, and I was so deeply inspired to hear that up to 64% of our members wanted to volunteer for COVID-19, and 22% of them were actively searching for opportunities within the last few weeks. And fifth and finally, 30 to 40% of healthcare hiring are done by search and staffing firms. So we took our very powerful LinkedIn Talent Insight solution, which helps companies build a very strong hiring strategy, and gave it for free to everyone in the staffing industry who could use it to help get these roles filled as quickly as possible. Just a few days later, these solutions were in full flight, and product marketing was the center, a glue of a go-to-market that was involving over 100 people across the organization. We had 80 different work streams, from product, marketing foundations, campaigns, activating our sales team, thinking about customer success, and making sure that our operational rigor was in place. It was truly inspiring to see how fast and how many people cared and showed up to help bring this solution to market. I'm very proud and very grateful for the team that did it, to say that we did launch within 10 days on time on April 1st. This was the fastest go-to-market in LinkedIn's history. And it's been approximately 2 months since then, and the impact has far exceeded our expectations. We've had 2.2 million healthcare candidates as part of the program, 190,000 new frontline industry jobs globally have come onto the platform. We've been able to help more than 1,000 hospitals with that Recruitment for Good program and really filling hard to fill roles like doctors that normally take 45 days to fill a role like that, and we were getting it down for applicants screened in 7. And I'm so proud to also see that we are on track to source 800,000 volunteer candidates from our platform. These candidates are volunteering to go to disaster relief not-for-profits directly helping with COVID, whether that's on the front line delivering food or helping with women's shelters, for example, which we've seen an unfortunate boom from shelter in place. Okay, and now the important part for all of you is, what did we learn and how can we distill some of these lessons in order to speed up rapid go-to-market for all of you? The first thing that we learned is that PMM really is a choreographer and not a dancer. If you're in a program like this and you start to take on too much of the individual work, it becomes very difficult for you to play your unique role on the team, which is the glue, making sure that people know what the true north metrics are. What are our execution principles? What problems are we solving? Being very crisp about this. For what audience? What's out of scope for all of this? Sharing all of the different work streams that are happening, creating one-page summaries for those so that we aid communication and connecting dots across the whole program. Detailing the program's features, thinking about a rolling thunder launch, thinking about meeting cadence, bringing the team together, defining roles and responsibilities, and sharing out resources. These are the areas of a choreographer, organizing many different groups. And so one thing as a product marketer that you need to be really careful of when you're doing a program like this is that if you start taking on individual deliverables yourself outside of the coordination of the wider team, you're running a real risk to burn yourself out and not be able to play the role which you uniquely have. The second principle is you as a product marketer need to obsess over the team health. The team's health. You are responsible for that. And there are a few different frameworks that are particularly important. One is a decision-making framework which we use at LinkedIn, which is very useful, called the RAPID. And each letter stands for a different role. For example, the R is a recommender. In this particular role, you are the one who makes the final recommendation, but you don't necessarily have the power to decide. That's the D, the decider. Roles in between include approvers, so somebody who can approve something. They can say no or veto something if it's, for example, breaking the law, but they can't necessarily say yes. They're more of an approver. The P is a performer. Who's actually going to do this? And I is who do you collect input for as the recommender? How are you aggregating input from many different groups? We spent a tremendous amount of time in these 10 days making sure that everyone was very clear about these roles and responsibilities of a RAPID. This very much aids speed of decision making, particularly in this kind of rapid go-to-market environment. The second big thing that you need to do as product marketers is drive collaboration. So you and your unique role at the 50,000 foot view, looking across all the different work streams, need to connect dots. And so I found myself constantly taking two groups, introducing them together, facilitating the meeting, helping us drive a collaboration agenda. And the last thing is you need to be really focused on recognition. The team is going to work really hard. A 10-day go-to-market or speeding up go-to-market is an exhausting process at the best of times. And it's your job to feed them with energy. And we all know the importance of recognition. So that's weekly. We were asking the executives, the top executives of the company to come into our meetings and to thank the people who are working so hard around the clock in quarantine with their families and everything else. So that's a really important role. So I would say as a product marketer, second big principle that you need to focus on is just obsessing about the team's health, particularly roles and responsibility, collaboration, and deep recognition and celebration of the team around you. The next principle for go-to-market that I'd like to discuss is that product marketers should be responsible for driving innovation in every part of the customer experience. It is a huge pet peeve of mine that people think that innovation belongs only to product innovation, or that they think that right away. It's really important to note that innovation can come in every part, whether it's monetization, marketing, sales, customer success, or operations. And one of the things that really worked in this initiative is that it wasn't just product innovation. Free jobs, for example, and taking out the friction that it costs to pay for jobs, that's a monetization initiative. We also had operations and customer success innovation with our own talent acquisition team saying we can help out by filling some of these hard to fill roles. Again, not a product innovation. So it's your responsibility as product marketers to inspire and empower each owner of these different areas to innovate in their own way. Another phrase that we are fond of here at LinkedIn is that launch is about momentum and not a moment. So when you're doing a rapid go-to-market like this, we spent a lot of time thinking about where the long pole is. And the long pole is the part of the process that's going to take the longest to build. But what we didn't say is that we have to get everything together in order to nail one particular moment of launch. And instead we had a rolling thunder launch. We said some things can go out right away. If they're ready, every single day counts in the COVID-19 crisis, ship it now. And we began to ship things on a regular basis. So while April 1st was our announce from a PR perspective, we actually had a rolling thunder of launches that began days before and went for weeks afterwards. And this is a really important principle, this idea that launch is not necessarily about a moment. Don't try and hold everything back and get it all in one moment. Make it about momentum and how you continue to drive launch in this very critical stage after general availability or launch, called early scale. That's just as relevant to keep launching, keep pushing, as it is to build up the momentum through the other stages. And the fifth principle of rapid go-to-market that I wanted to discuss was solve very clear problems that your organization is already good at solving. What do I mean by this? It's important to realize that if you're going to move very quickly, you need to be pivoting your product market fit, not building something entirely from scratch. So many of the initiatives which we launched were modifications of existing infrastructure that we already knew worked, that we already had in place. We spent a lot of time over those 10 days, believe it or not, listening to our customers. We did pulse surveys to understand what they were looking for. We talked to reps. We talked to CHROs, the heads of HR for hospitals, to understand what they were looking for. So while we were building these solutions, we were also doing what we always do in product marketing, which was validating that product market fit. That's still critical even when you're moving fast. But I would say one important principle is to make sure that you're pivoting instead of creating completely new things. So we want to wrap up there. Thank you for listening to the story. If any of the frameworks in the presentation are useful, that's fantastic. If the 5 principles, principle number 1, PMM, you are a choreographer, not a dancer. Make sure you're focusing your energy on the very unique high-value role that you can play, being the glue for all of the other groups in the go-to-market. Number 2, make sure that you are obsessed about the team's health, particularly about roles and responsibility, collaboration, and recognition. Number 3, make sure that you drive innovation in every part of the business model. Number 4, think about launch as momentum, not a moment. So get that rolling launch going as well. And finally, number 5, make sure that you are solving very clear problems that you're already good at solving. This has been really fun. Again, I'm Scott Parrish with LinkedIn, and I just want to say very briefly that product marketing and LinkedIn is a fantastic organization. We have about 100 product marketers at LinkedIn across different business lines. As an organization, there's very deeply purposeful impact. For example, as I mentioned, every day I think about how to get people hired. And the culture of product marketing there is very much about having a purposeful impact. Secondly, uniquely here, we are equally balanced between inbound product marketing, so driving a product strategy, understanding what the market wants and what we should build, as well as outbound product marketing, which is bringing the product to market. We're pretty balanced, and that's a very unique situation. And at LinkedIn, it's a highly strategic role. We very closely partner with product and BizOps and co-own the P&Ls, the strategies for our products. So it's an exciting place. If you're at all interested in product marketing at LinkedIn, please do add me. I'd love to talk more, and I'd love to hear your stories about rapid go-to-market and learn from you. Thank you very much.